last night I received a news notification about Battlefield 6 and the amount of pre-orders it has, and it totally blew me away. And I kind of just want to read this article because it'll give you guys a good idea of like the general scale of how many people are buying this game, and then we'll get into talking about maybe why. Battlefield 6 is just over a week away from release, if you can believe it, and according to new reports, the game has already seen 1.7 million pre-orders fly out the door, well, onto gamer systems on Steam alone, which is insane. That's just Steam. In a new report from the game business and some new statistics from data firm Ampere Analysis, Battlefield Studios has already had 1.7 million copies of Battlefield 6 pre-ordered on Steam, with the firm predicting that we'll see another 5 million copies of Battlefield 6 sold in the first week alone. The report also has some Newzoo estimates that the Battlefield 6 beta was played by around 25 million people, while Ampere's numbers have the Battlefield 6 beta being played by 22 million people. Newzoo reports that the peak concurrent player count for the Battlefield 6 beta across all platforms, PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS, sat at around 10.4 million, double the peak of 5.1 million for the Battlefield 2042 beta. So I think this one is just, it's doing so well because 2042 was a flop because it just felt like super cut and clean. It wasn't like a Battlefield game. You know what I mean? It was almost like a big Call of Duty. But I don't think people don't want these half real, half baked experiences. They want it to feel, if a guy's going to play a war game, they want it to feel like a war. Like, if an explosion happens, you should hear your ears start ringing. Mud should go all over your eyes and stuff. You shouldn't be able to see. It should be hard to stay alive. It should be harder to kill people. I mean, that's the goal. If you buy a game like that, if you buy a war game, that's something you want. And I think that's why Battlefield 1 did so well, is it just, you're in this environment, you're just in this death environment. It doesn't feel like you're the main hero. It doesn't feel like you're the main character. It just feels like everybody's equal and you're all just enjoying this experience together. And I think, with the PS5 out now and all of the new tech out now, people want that experience, but they want it on that level, on that tech level, where they're able to, run these games. And I played the Battlefield 6 beta, and it looked absolutely amazing to me. I grew up playing Battlefield 3, and I just had so many hours. That's probably my favorite game of all time. And they made that game look so good. And this Battlefield 6 sort of just feels like a better version of that. It does feel a little different here and there were some things I wish they added. But I think it looks amazing. I personally like to play with the HUD off and just sort of enjoy the experience, and it was kind of unreal. And on the smaller side, it was either 10 million people or it was 25 million people playing. I think it was probably around 25 million people, and I think people got a really good taste of the game from playing the beta, and I think that's why there's so many pre-orders. If I had a PS5, I would probably pre-order it, but I don't. I just have a PS4, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments.